Hello students, today we are starting another unit of computer science, that is networking concepts. We have one theory chapter, one full theory unit in our syllabus which covers all the topics of networking and telecommunication. So let us start it. First of all, let us see what is a network. Network, what is definition of network? Collection of interconnected computers is called a computer network. If we want to define a network, it is a interconnected collection of devices. When it is an interconnected collection of computers, it is known as a computer network. Now, what is the meaning of term interconnected? Interconnected means they can share the information or any other resource. See this definition here, it is given. A network is an interconnection of two or more independent devices for sharing of data with each other. Whenever we say that two devices or two computers are connected to each other, that means they are capable of sharing something. Sharing of what things can take place, that we will study now. That we will study in the topic advantages of network. What is, we studied now what is a network. Then what was the requirement to start a network? There were computers, earlier also work was going on. Then maybe some requirement arose that the people started connecting the computers. So there may be some advantages. So what are the advantages? What advantages we get when we connect two or more systems? Advantages of network. First point is resource sharing. Now we can say that two computers are connected if they are able to share. First, what is shared? Resources are shared. Resources means resources are programs, data or peripherals. You can see here, resource sharing means providing all the programs, data and peripherals to everyone on the network. Programs you all know, software, data you know, information, and peripherals. The term peripherals means all the hardware devices that are attached to a computer, like printer, scanner, headphones, etc. All these are peripherals. Then if a computer is having a printer attached to it, then all the computers which are connected to that particular computer can get access to that printer. You have seen this in a cyber cafe. Earlier cyber cafes were there. Nowadays also they are there, but nowadays all are having their own private networks. So in cyber cafe you have seen that one computer, main computer, was having a printer, and when all the clients, all the users have to take out the print, they have to give the command from their own system only, and the printer prints it. This is possible because only all the computers are in connection with each other. So this is resource sharing. Second point, you can see reliability and security through redundancy. The term redundancy means repetition. Something is having extra copy. So reliability increases when we have redundant resources. Means we have extra copy. So here they have defined reliability means backing up of data. Backing up of data means maintaining an extra copy of data, so that in case data from one of the system gets erased or the system gets crashed and the data is lost, it can be recovered from another system. That is, our reliability is increased. Reliability means backing up of data. So reliability, they have said it, or security. They have said or security because when reliability increases, security also increases. Data does not get lost. We have data secured. All the computers are connected with each other. So when one system is crashed or having some any problem, it is not in the working condition, then its data can be accessed from some another system. So reliability increases. It leads to the smooth functioning of the computer systems. Third advantage is cost efficient. Third advantage is cost efficiency. How is it cost efficient? Means how was network helping in reducing the cost of an organization? Cost efficiency is increased since we talked earlier in the first point that if the printer is attached to one system only, then if the computers are in network, all the systems get connected to that printer. So the organization does not have to purchase printers for all the computers. They have to purchase it only for one system, and the remaining computers can give the command from there also after getting connected. So cost efficiency has increased. They can reduce the cost of the network. Also, not only in terms of printer or any peripheral devices, but also the licensed softwares are also very costly. They are also supposed installed on one system, then all the other computers can access it from the main system. So the cost decreases for the organization if the computers are in network. Fourth point they have discussed is of central storage of data. Central storage of data means the data is concentrated at one place. We all see that the banks are storing the data at their servers. Nowadays, no bank have the data of their customers in their local computers. They have to store on their server. Many a times we go to the bank and the system, then the employees say the server is down, they cannot print. So this reason is that central storage of data is taking place. How is it helping? It helps us in when the storage is done centrally, it helps in security because the data is at one place, it is not scattered, it is more secure. Then next is security through authorization. You can think that if computers are in network, then our data is not safe, but it is not so because authorization techniques are there that help us to identify that which person is going to access my computer or which person is going to access this particular file. If the person is authorized or the system is authorized, then only the data is provided to it. There are the options of username and password. When the username and password are correct, then only the data is available to that system. Otherwise, it is not available. So, the security is also maintained. Next is faster problem solving. Another important point. When there are many big programs and large big programs are to be handled, then if one system does all the processing, then it is very difficult and also time consuming to complete that one process. But if many computers together work on the same program, that means if a big program is decomposed into smaller programs and each small program is handled by each computer, then the whole program gets solved or executed in very short period of time. So we can say through networking, faster problem solving has taken place. Here we have studied 6 advantages. What are they? Just have a quick look. Resource sharing, reliability, cost factor, central storage of data, security of data, and faster problem solving. All these 6 points are important. Whenever they are asked in examination, what are the advantages, you have to write it them point wise. Now, the topic here comes is evolution of network. This also you have to study in your course. Evolution means how it started. What was the origin? Earlier forms, what were the earlier forms of networks? We have studied, last year studied the evolution of network, sorry, evolution of computers. How the computer started from abacus, then different generations of computers were there. Now we are studying evolution of a network. Here you can see a word ARPANET, Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. This network was developed, this was the first network developed by the American Institute and ARPANET, Advanced Research Projects Agency, and US Department of Defense. They jointly started it. Then, like them, after seeing them, NSF-NET was developed, that was National Science Federation Network. This organization also tried to develop their own private network. That was the name was NSF-NET, National Science Federation Network. After looking to ARPANET, they also thought of making their own network, and they connected their universities, their organizations for academic research and development purposes. So this was another network. When these two networks started working, many different other organizations also thought of developing their own network. They also developed their own network, and when such different networks started communicating with each other, that means one network started communicating with another network, then it became the internet. Understood? There were different networks, independent networks, that one network not able to communicate with the other network, but later on slowly they started connecting network to network, then it became the internet. You can see the picture here. In 1969 ARPANET was developed. In 1980 NSF-NET was developed, and when there's such many networks combined, and in 1990 internet began to start. That means network. What is internet? We can define internet as network of networks. See, here it is written, network of networks make an internet. If a standalone network is there, as we see in our school, there is a network of all computers, that is a local area network. But when such network gets connected to another network, then it becomes internet. Next term is interspace. Another important term, interspace. Interspace is a software that allows multiple users in client-server environment to communicate with each other to send and receive data of various types. Now, on the internet, we all are using this internet. What we are all doing? We are all sending and receiving various types of data. Various types of data means what? What kind of the data there are? There are data files, there are videos, there are audio files, textual data, etc. All these types of data are sent and received over the internet, and all those softwares that are required to run this internet are known as interspace. Understood? So we can define interspace, which is a software. It is a software that allows computers to work in a client server environment. This another term is there, client and server environment. Maybe you are familiar with these terms, still I will define it. Server is a computer, more powerful computer that has best of its resources. Best of its resources means a big storage area, a very good kind of connectivity, very good kind of infrastructure, everything. That is a server. Then client, it is a computer, normal desktop computer or a iPad or a mobile phone or a laptop. It is a client which makes a request. A client is a computer that makes a request for data or information, and server is a computer that serves that information or data. So client server environment, that means client is requesting something and the server is going to fulfill that request. So they work together. So when client server environment is there, the software required for communication is known as interspace. Next topic we are taking are the general terminologies associated with the network. See, terminologies associated with network. First is data. Data refers to raw facts and figures. The same definition that we have studied since years. From 5th, 6th standard we have studying this definition of data. It is raw facts or figures or concepts which when processed by computer results into information. I can give the same information, same example like wheat. Wheat are the data. When it is processed and then it becomes flour. So that is data turns into information after being processed. In a program also, when we give the data, say addition program is there, we give the data 2 and 5. So this is data, result information is 7. Second definition, terminology used in networking is communication. Communication and data communication. They are the same. Data communication means sending data across the long distance or between two computers. Communication mediums. Communication mediums are of two types. They are guided or unguided media. That also we'll study. Guided media means they are having guidance. That means they are hardwired. And unguided media means they are through waves. They are invisible. They are not requiring any hardwire connection. Then in guided media also there are different types. Twisted pair cable is there, coaxial cable is there, fiber optics is there. These are guided media. And satellite is unguided media. We'll have to study this again in detail. Another term is nodes. We will be talking about these terms in the whole chapter. So these terms should be clear to you. What is the meaning of a node? Node, just now we talked of client. In the same way, node is the same thing. We can define node as a computer system on the network becomes a node. Means a computer whichever gets connected to some network becomes a node. Means it is a client now. It can generate requests to other computers. Nodes are also termed as workstations. Another important term. Nodes are also termed as workstations. Mean if a computer is standalone computer, it is not connected to any system, then it is not a node and also it is not a workstation. But when it gets connected to the internet or some other network, it becomes a node or a workstation. Server is a program that runs on a remote machine and provides services to the client machines. See here, what is the work of a server? Server program runs on remote machine. Remote machines mean a far away machine that provides services to client machine. Client के machine को कौन provide करता है services? Server के programs. Then there are two types of servers: dedicated server and non-dedicated server. Can you see here? Dedicated server. See here, the classification is shown. Server are of two types, dedicated and non-dedicated. How to define a dedicated server? A server that provides its services to other workstations on the network is a dedicated server. Its only job is to share its hardware and software resources, files, etc. with these connected workstations. See what they are saying. Dedicated means it is dedicated to its work of serving only. It is not going to do any other thing. Then it is a dedicated server. Suppose one computer I have made and 4 or 5 computers are connected to that one computer. And this is a server. If the server is allowed to do only the serving process and nobody can work on itself. Means on that system no person can create his suppose Word file or Excel file, then it is a dedicated server. But if a computer is such that it can do the work of serving also and also the processing of the programs can take place. Since it is doing two works, so it is known as a non-dedicated server. Let us see the definition. A non-dedicated server works as a workstation as well as a server machine. That means it is doing the job of serving also, and it is working as a workstation also. Working as a workstation also means it is also generating bills, it is printing the receipts, etc. That kind of work also can be done. मतलब अगर एक सिस्टम पर मैं काम कर रही हूँ और उस पर प्रोसेस रिसिप्ट्स बन रही हैं, प्रिंट आउट्स भी निकल रहे हैं, और जब रिक्वेस्ट आती है तब उस पर रिक्वेस्ट को सर्व भी कर रहे हैं, then that computer is a non-dedicated server. Means non-dedicated server, when it is free, it can do the different tasks. These servers provide sharing of resources at small scale. As these servers act both as server as well as workstation, their speed is quite less and require more memory. Non-dedicated and dedicated. Dedicated will not do any other processing. It will only do the job of serving. We cannot open an email there. We cannot send advertisement from there, anything. But it can only do the serving process. While non-dedicated can perform it two ways. Both the works it can perform. Another term is NIU. Network Interface Card. NIU, you all know, you have heard, more popular word is the network card. Right? Network card means if a computer has a network card, then it is capable of connecting to the internet. That is the NIU, that is the interface through which the computer gets connected. NIU is a device that helps in establishing a communication among several nodes which are interconnected using protocols. It is also called NIC. NIU is also known as NIC, that is Network Interface Card. You have heard graphics card are there, sound card are there. All these cards are there which enable their particular properties. So network card enables a computer to allow that system to be connected in the network. Each card has its unique address known as the node address, or also known as MAC address. That address is written in that computer NIC, that card, and that is identified as the address of that computer. It is also known as TAP, terminal access point. So all these terminologies are there which will be required in the whole chapter. We'll continue the next topic later. You till then you make the notes and write it in your copy. Any doubt you can ask me anytime. Okay, bye for now.